Andy, please, if I can. Did you get a little nervous knowing that you were going to approach the second movie? And if you did, how did you deal with that?
I wasn't nervous. I don't think I was ever sort of nervous. I was very intrigued as to where the story was going to drop anchor, where we were going to, you know. And then as soon as I met with Matt and he told me his vision for where he wanted to start, which was 10 years later, and to watch this evolution of the apes, you know, and enjoy that, I was so delighted and thrilled. And I just think the script, you know, it was terrific. It was absolutely brilliant. So I wasn't nervous at all.
Great, great. And when you were a kid, when you watched the originals, Planet of the Apes, did you ever dream of being in?
Of course I didn't. How could you possibly think that? I mean, how could one possibly think that you would end up being in Planet of the Apes? I mean, I'll never forget seeing, as I'm sure you know, Matt's a massive fan, seeing that first film in a local cinema in Ruislip in West London, where I grew up, and you know, seeing humans being harvested in nets by apes on horseback was, I mean, just mind-blowing. Right. So I would not have thought, you know, 40 or 30 years later on I'd be doing that.
Mm-hmm. And the trust that you guys built together as you know, director, actor, how does that work? Was there a point in the film where you both realized that this is going to work?
Well, it was from the first time we met,
yeah,
I think.
I mean, it started very early, I think, because I could see, first of all, the first thing I did was I went back and actually looked, because I was so affected by Andy's performance in Rise, and I wanted to understand what it was, and I didn't know if, you know, what was motion capture, and again, not understanding the process and what was him. So I went back and I said, could you just show me all the shots of Andy, actually as Andy, not as Caesar? And I watched all the scenes, and I was so emotionally affected again, I was like, oh, so the secret is, it's him. Like, that was the big thing. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be, it made me feel so much better, because as a director, my experience was in working with actors, and I could see that Andy was an amazing actor. And then we just hit it off together, and the whole thing was just about, it was a joy. Like, we just went on this search together for, like, hey, let's try this, let's try that. And Andy would say, you know, I think I do this. I go, let's try that, let's do that. And it was really fantastic. And I have to say, much more free in that process than I ever would have guessed that a movie like this would be. A lot of times when you're dealing with sort of visual effects, you get very constrained by the visual effects. That is not the case with this technology in terms of dealing with Andy and the actors, because it becomes a situation where it's no different from others. I would say, well, where do you think you'd be? Well, tell me what, let's just, and it was exactly the same as any other small independent movie that I had made, and that was great.
Now, real quick, going back to USC days, we've come a long way since the petrified forest. Now, what could you tell a college student that is gearing up to hopefully be like you one day?
You know, when I was in film school, the thing that I told myself was that I would never stop until I made it. And what that meant was that if I wrote a script in school that I was hoping would sell. If it didn't sell, I was gonna write another script, I was gonna make a movie. No matter what it is, I think you have to find a story that is your voice, that you want to tell. And then, especially now, you know, when I was coming out of school, it wasn't even so much the way it is now. You can make a movie in any format. I mean, you could go out, people are making movies on their phone. It sounds crazy, but you can do it. And if you can find a way to express your vision so that you have a story to tell, then you'll reach people. And I just think that's what you have to do.
Brilliant. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, cool.
Cheers, thank you.
We both have families. You want to protect yours, I want to protect mine. It's our only chance for peace.
Are you aware?
No!
They are going to turn on you.
They're animals!
Caesar, your home.
Who was that?
A good man like you.
Caesar love humans more than apes. If you threaten his family, he will retaliate. Don't shoot! Caesar!